You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. Excited to share this episode with you today, but before we do, huge shout out to our sponsors. The Oklahoma Hall of Fame have been sharing Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com. And for daily updates, go to oklahomahof on Instagram and give them a follow. Our other sponsor today is the Chickasaw Nation. Now, the Chickasaw Nation have sponsored pretty much everything in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma. And it's an honor to have their name and their brand supporting this podcast. So a huge shout out to Governor Anatoby for supporting this podcast. It really means a lot. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my two pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my two golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. Adding to that is the Doghouse, and so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too, but I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC, and hopefully our pups will run into each other. If you're looking for a way to make a real difference, check out Bethany Children's Health Center. They're helping children reach their full potential as a leader in pediatric rehabilitation. They're also building a new outpatient center of excellence, and it's going to be a landmark right on Route 66. Want to learn more or even schedule a tour? Just head to bethanychildrens.org and click on the Ways to Give tab. That's bethanychildrens.org. What's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. We are down at Black Walnut, and it's a beautiful restaurant. If you haven't been here, you need to, because it's epic. I'm sure you've heard about it and heard about our guest today, but if you haven't, welcome. Chef, thanks for coming back on the podcast. I know we've got exciting news to share today, but before we do, let's give a little bit of a recap of kind of elevator pitch of who you are, what you do, why you do it, and then we'll dive into the great news we have.
So, I'm Andrew Black. Been in Oklahoma City now since 2007. This is definitely home for me, and have had the privilege of opening up some great restaurants and be a part of them. So I came here, opened a Skirvin Hotel back in 2007, and from there I opened Vass, Flint, and decided I wanted to open my own restaurant, and so I opened Gray Sweater, Black Walnut, and now Pearl Mester at a Skirvin Hotel. So, been here, one about everything, James Beard, Gray Sweater, top 50 best place to have wine, and the list just goes on and on. The Dish, New York Times. So we have been very fortunate to achieve a lot.
Done some pretty epic culinary things.
Yes.
I mean, we've got to know each other over the last few years, and other than great food, I think we share a lot about our family history.
Yep.
And the UK we have in common, and great Indian food, which it is a struggle.
But you're not an Arsenal fan, though.
I'm not an Arsenal fan. That's where we butt heads, right? I'm a Man United fan. But no, I think it's such a great time in Oklahoma City of culinary. Oklahoma City, and just kind of where you have fitted into that, and the rest of the community is kind of, there's this energy around food that's been there for a while now in Oklahoma, and you could definitely at the center of that. You talk about James Beard and the other amazing, chefs we have coming to Oklahoma City, and people are now.
It's a great time.
Exactly right. And Oklahoma City is a food destination. And I know we've done previous podcasts, and you've talked about your heritage and Jamaica and the Indian influence, and just kind of your family history. We haven't had a restaurant from you, though, based on your family history, which is what I'm cannot wait to talk about today, because, we're at Black Walnut, which is such a great spot. There's some amazing dishes at Black Walnut, but you have something else in mind.
Yes.
I would love to get into, what it is that we have what it is that we have in mind for Black Walnut in the next year, in 2026.
Right. Well, I tell you what, you're one of the first to witness me really talking out loud about this idea I have I wrote this down in my vision board, I think about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So this has been on my mind forever. And so ever since I've been here, people have always says, when are you going to cook the food you grew up on? You have given us a tasting menu. You've gave us world-class cuisine. You have won everything. But when are we going to share a plate with the food that you were up in the morning cooking at 6 or with your grandmother and stuff like that? Because this all started with my grandmother in the kitchen, right? Elizabeth Bandu, God bless her soul. And her ancestors came to Jamaica way back on a spice slave ship and they never left. It continued. So growing up in the Caribbean, I grew up eating Caribbean food, Indian food, and a little West African food also. That's the diaspora food that I grew up eating. That's what launched the creativity, the ideas, the possible to the journey, everything you can think of. And so the question is always put to me, when are you going to do this? So secretly, it's been on my mind, and more it's been on the front of my mind. And I wrote this down over 2 years ago, and I said, one day I got to do this. But I kept looking for the past, I'd say 9 months. Okay, where can I put this if I should do it? And with the price on real estate and everything, I keep looking, I just couldn't find the right place to put it. And one day it hit me. Tear down Black Walnut and give the world something new. And as gutsy as that sound, because Black Walnut is doing well, people love Black Walnut. It's over 6 years. So as risky and gutsy as it sounds, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to shut down Black Walnut and reopen it with a restaurant, the food I grew up on, with a tribute to my grandmother, and it's going to be called Dougla.
Okay.
Right? And people might say, well, oh my God, why are you doing that? Are you crazy? I look at it like this. Life is short. If something of that importance to you, do it. This is going to be an emotional coaster ride because, again, all these dishes are dishes that I have learned as a kid cooking with my grandmother. When you come to Dougla, you're getting a taste of the Caribbean and what we cooked in our outside kitchen with wood fire.
Yeah.
So you're talking from the oxtail, the roti, the chutneys, the takari, the dal, the escovitch fish, you name it, And then that's just one diaspora in Jamaica. But when you think of Trinidad, when you think of Bahamas, the conch, when you think of just so many, and not to mention the rum, I'll probably have the largest selection of rum in the state of
Yeah.
okay. Now we drink a lot. Okay. But when you look at the word, why do I choose to use the word Dougla? It's because it's a word. Once upon a time, it was a derogative word.
Okay.
But now we embrace it throughout the Caribbean. And just a few Caribbean, you will still hear that word. It's a word that blend a mixture of the Caribbean. Because in the Caribbean, there's so many mixed culture. There's German, Indian, African, natives. And so it's a word that combine the mix of the Caribbean, Dougla. And so that's what the restaurant will be called. It would be a lot dressed down, You talk about community table, sharing of food. It will be tremendously different from the music to how we approach it, the looks, the everything, man. I've put a lot of thought in this. It's been over 2 years. I've been just stirring this pot, and wanted to, I thought I was going to put it somewhere else. But then I stepped back late one morning. I'm like, why not? Just, it's like when an artist, you draw a picture, right? And you sign the bottom of it. What else is left to do on it?
Mhm.
You either display it or you sell it or you lock it and you put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's Black Walnut. It's now okay.
Yeah.
Let's give the world something else. So, and what better person to do it than me? A place where you can come and have food from throughout the Caribbean, elevated, of course, with a culture and a mixture of flavors from India, the Caribbean, West Africa. It's just one big melting pot. It's gonna be over here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're putting your spin on it, right? And you're
Yes.
gonna put, you're gonna add everything to the quality and to the level that you do,
Absolutely.
which everybody knows that and
Yeah.
understands that quality as well. What did the team think when you told them that you were gonna close?
Well, like anything else, my team always think I'm bat crazy. Like anything else. They're like,
Yeah.
we have a good life. Why interrupt it? But my thing is this: everything is a journey.
Mhm.
And you have to. I don't ever want to wake up and say I should have.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it turns out to be, it's like, let's do this.
Mm.
So the whole goal is to run Black Walnut until the end of this year, shut it down in January, and reopen in February the 14th. Right?
Valentine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, many may said, well, why Valentine's Day? When I opened Black Walnut, it was February the 14th. I didn't want to forget the day I opened, so I always have to pick days I can't remember.
Yeah.
And, we're just only on that night, we'll just serve 100 guests. No matter how many show up, and that night is 100 guests, 100 guests only. Because we did that the first time we opened Black Walnut, and those guests still dine with us. It was an opportunity of a beginning of something, and we got to show them and offer one of the best service at the time. And so we want to do that again. But that's what we're going to do. I think also we have this great space here, which is adjoining into the dining room. So I think we're going to eventually turn this in a lounge, so to speak, like a Dougla lounge. And this is where this part will be open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 9 to 12.
Yeah.
And it's when you come in and it's just really laid back music, lights are low, a few bites, and it's where you stop and hang out and then you go home.
Yeah.
So big plans for the entire space and whole.
Yeah.
Many might said, hey, well, are you gonna touch Gray Sweater? Not for now. Not for now. But you never know. One day I'll wake up also and get bored with it and said, let's do something even crazier. Yeah.
Well, back to the lounge part of this, like Black Walnut's known for great music. You can have two experiences. You can come in and you can dine, or you can sit at the bar and have that and hang out. And glad to hear you're keeping that kind of community side of just plop in, because there's a lot of people living in this area.
Absolutely.
Want to walk here and have a drink and walk home.
It will be it'll be a lot dressed down. It will be, as I said, there'll be a big community table, so a lot of sharing. You'll hear different kind of music. It'll be a different playlist where we're like, well, wonder who is that? We love music, so all of that will be different. But when you think of, again, I'm so excited about just what cocktail's gonna look like. I mean, think about that. There's so many rums throughout the Caribbean. So imagine to turn those into a cocktail where the imagination can go crazy. Now, I must say, everything, the flavors or where the food is concerned, it's going to be true authentic. Yes, it might be elevated in some way, but I want the flavors to be true to how I remember eating these dishes.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
When you think of Caribbean rum, what comes to mind?
I think the ones that come to my mind first is the Appleton Estate. 15-year-old age rum, But the more I look back, because I haven't been home in so long, and the more I start to circle back now, just to look, I'm like, holy crap, there's so much we have. There's just, it's so much. Each Caribbean produced so many different rum, and they're all good rums. So it's a lot. It's a lot, you know. One of the first thing I'll be doing in a couple of weeks is I'll be going off to Trinidad for a while. Then I'll be going off to Bahamas for a while. And I'll set foot in Cuba for a little. And then my final stop is back home in Jamaica that I haven't been for so long. And I'm going to take all that and come back and give it to the world.
It's going to be such a great trip.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're going to want to come back?
I know.
Right? Having so much fun out there and, you know, doing rum tasting, you know, in as many places
it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. I mean, and we've spoken about this before recording today, you know, there's a passion there that you have for food that is uncommon in a lot of people other than people who are in your profession. But I think you elevate yours because, you know, you've seen a lot, you've been around the world, and now this is, you know, truly your ode to your grandmother.
Yes.
Right. And everything that you come from, you know, you've given everything to all your other concepts, but this is the person.
This is personal. And, you know, I think that's the part I haven't really prepared for it yet. Because, you know, when I started cooking with my grandmother at a very young age. And back then, you don't know what you're doing. You don't really understand the journey then because you're a kid. But waking up early in the morning, making chocolate tea, real chocolate, making roti, you know, or eating roti at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning with a cup of chocolate tea, you don't understand it. You just think that's the norm. But I look back now and I'm like, what a rich childhood I had, you know?
Yeah.
Remembering even my father on the weekends, they would catch fish, all kind of fish from the river. And what we call a seafood boil, that was like soup back home, you know? You look now and what you're getting in a bowl at a noodle shop, that's what we had.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting, man. It's emotion, some part of it, but then excited also to see what I take those same flavors and how do I elevate it without changing the integrity of it. Like, this is not one of those places where you're going to come and say, okay, we got to tone the spices down on the jerk chicken to meet the audience. No, it's going to be the real deal. You know, this is it.
No mild, medium, or hot.
No, none of that. You know, this is not, oh, do you have just the white meat on it? No, here it is. This is a true love note to my grandmother. It's a true homage and everything. It's all going to be how I grew up eating this food. Yeah.
How old were you when she passed?
Oh, gosh. I don't remember. I'd have to look back. I don't remember. Yeah. You know,
I mean, like,
things just happen.
Yeah.
I was in Jamaica at the time. I was still a kid.
Okay. So you still have those
but
memories.
I still have those memories. And it's like you don't, once you start to think about and backtrack everything, it's like the lights come on. You're like, holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, jackfruit. You know, I see people using jackfruit now and so excited about it. I'm like, man, we had tonloads of jackfruit, you know, and how we treated and eat it was just different.
Yeah.
Guava, seafood, you know, expect to see quite a bit of seafood also on the menu because we grew up with a lot of seafood. You know, we cook seafood in all different ways, you know, and then you think about the West African spices and flavor. And then you think about the spices from the Indo community. This is, it's a big diaspora to cover.
Yeah.
You'll never get bored or anything. Yeah.
So, Black Walnut, you're going to close on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve's a big day, big night here,
a big night.
Kind of known for New Year's Eve. You're going out with a bang.
Yeah, we're going out with a bang. That's it. You know, I will be here. So I'll break bread here that night with, everybody. And, you know, people might say, well, what's going to happen to all those dish that I love at Black Walnut? The old goal is to those dish that are number one hits that people love over the years are going to appear in the Pearl Master menu.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. You know, we'll add them to Pearl Master menu. So, you know, you wake up and you want to try. I mean, we've had the beef ribs on the menu like for day one, you know, with the kale salad and the hush puppy and all. It will be in that menu over there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's not totally going
It's,
away.
yeah, it will
Yeah.
still get a little, you know, just a little bit over there still.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're yearning for something, you know exactly where to find it.
Yeah.
But this is so excited.
Yeah.
For me, it is. It is. It's risky. It's scary, but I've always take that leap.
Yeah.
I've always take that leap. But, you know, expect bold flavors, flavors you probably never had before. Storytelling. Music is significantly different. Cocktail, just way different.
Yeah.
People might say, oh, but I don't like rum. I don't think you can say that until you taste some of these rum, because the more I research them, the more you look at it, there's rum you can drink just like whiskey. It's just, yeah, you know, it's the, yeah.
Yeah. When we
know?
talk about kind of the look, the design colors, you
Mhm.
know, kind of the feel of this place. Obviously, we talked a little bit about the lounge, and for people watching right now, people watching the YouTube or the Facebook video, I will overlay the designs that Chef has. But would love to hear you talk about where the color palette comes from, the logo, the design, and how that.
Yeah, so the logo represent just strength of the spices, herbs, fresh herbs, spices that we cook with throughout the Caribbean, how we blend things together, how when we're making spices, preparing dry spice in the Indo culture to use it. So the local represent all those. And I think what we're not think, I know what we're going to do also, because those are big questions. We're going to post these so people can truly understand. We're going to tell the story of letting people even dive more into where my mind went in developing all of this. It talks about the logo, the color, what it represents, what it means. It talks about the meaning of the word, just everything. We're putting it all out there so people can understand how did I arrive here?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's even a photo of my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For I know what her full name is, but
Yeah.
what was her full name?
Elizabeth Bandu.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth Bandu. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My young daughter, her name is Elizabeth, Olivia Elizabeth Black. Yeah. She carries her middle name. So, yeah.
I know how excited you are, and I
Yeah.
hope people listening can feel it, because it's gonna be, you know, when it's the passion project, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not. I'm not saying that you haven't put everything into any other of your concept, but this is just it's different.
Yeah. It's
You know?
different. It's, yeah. Imagine to wake up and, you know, I remember every Saturday morning we would make puri, right? And it is so different. The regions of how puri and roti is made throughout India and throughout the Caribbean, it's so different. But I remember on Saturday morning grinding the split peas in a stone, you know, grinding the garlic, the onion, the green onion. I remember folding that into flour dough and flattening it out and fry it, and it puffs up, and you can never forget that smell.
Yeah.
I remember, man, and goat meat, you know. Yeah, there will be goat, trust me, you know. But yeah,
So February 14th,
yes,
Valentine's Day, Black Walnut closes for New Year's Eve,
yep,
going out with a bang there. For people listening, if you've never been to Black Walnut, you've got till the end of the year to come check it out and get those awesome items. And if you don't miss out on that, well, some of them
some of them,
will
yeah,
be at down in
Pearl.
Pearl Master. how do people listening? They're huge fans of yours and want to be taken on this culinary journey of rum and spices for the 14th opening. How do they get involved? How is there a way to
On a website? Yeah,
Okay.
website is coming soon. It will be in all my platforms, everything.
Okay.
We're going to keep very engaged so people know where to find everything, and we're sending out everything to the masses so they can really just be a part of it, see the journey and my travelings and everything. Yeah.
Is there going to be reservations for the 14th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just reservation for the 14th. And because it's the first night, we're choosing to do 100 people, and we want to make sure those 100 people never forget it.
Yeah.
And,
what are you most excited for to go on this travel journey, build a menu? And you've shared some. I don't know if we want to talk about the duck, right? The chicken, the duck that we're gonna. Was it the duck? Right?
Yeah.
Can we have one? Yeah. Okay. Which I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
But the idea of it, I am fortunate, people listening. Thank you for opening up your brain to me and being fortunate to dive in and see, you create. And that's what I'm excited for people that you talk about opening up like social media and taking people along this journey, because a lot of people see the finished product. They don't see, building the menu. They don't see, I know how long you've taken to just build a playlist, and Chelsea's probably listening being like, oh, do you really? I'm like, not as much as Chelsea does, but I know. There's so much
and
detail goes into it.
I'm very critical. So everything we do, it's always like do it over 10 times till we arrive at where we think it's like it's never perfect.
Just like golf. It's never perfect. Endless pursuit.
Yes.
Mentally good and bad.
Right.
What are you excited for? What are you looking forward to on your travels?
To revisit culture.
Okay.
To revisit culture, to revisit the smell, the taste. I've always said you can forget a recipe, but you'll always remember the smell. You'll always remember a taste. So I'm really looking forward to that. Someone asked me, I think it was yesterday, like, hey, what's your favorite fish? And I'm like, man, because I've been kind of working on this in my head, I'm like, man, I grew up eating a fish called parrotfish, right? It's a Caribbean. You find the fish in the Caribbean a lot, but it is so buttery and flaky at the same time that I'm like, God, that's a good fish. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to just going back to the culture, going back to the culture and tasting stuff that I haven't tasted in so many years. And also to embark upon new stuff. I mean, how do we make the best doubles now in Trinidad? Trinidad are, if you never had doubles, trust me, okay. It's like putting even that on the menu. And, there's this things we always said, if you never had doubles, you don't talk about it till you have it. So it's all those little things. It's a mixture of everything. There's something for everyone in the restaurant. It's important that people know that. It's not like, oh my God, there's nothing there for me now. There'll be a lot of vegetarian, there'll be a lot, because that's how we eat. There's a little for everything. And that's why it's so important to have community table, because it's a place where we share dishes.
So, talking of that community table, do you see it kind of in long rows, or do you see it as a more of a circular type community?
Long rows.
Long rows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Long rows. And we'll still have our two tops and, those things like that. The bar will be significantly different. Yeah. When you walk in, you won't recognize the bar. It will be significantly different. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like to wish away time, but I'm excited for next year and February 14th for you to open and kind of go through the experience and take people on this experience with you. You're opening up a side of you that is very personal to you, and it's a side of you that only the closest people to you get to see.
Absolutely. a lot of people say that. The ones who know me well say, hey, you know what? So many people see you and think they know you, but they don't really see how you eat or any stuff like that, you know? I don't cook at home a lot, but when I do, I always try to gravitate to something I grew up with. Yeah.
Rice and tomato sauce.
I'm telling you, man, there were days that was it.
I know. I remember you saying.
There was days that was it. It's like, hey, you know, but it's a journey. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So it's spelled Dougla.
Yes.
And that will be on the social media platforms coming soon. Also on the website. Stay tuned for all your social media platforms to announce all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, come to Black Walnut here until New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And then, well, quick, like, what's that, 45 days later?
45 days, we'll come in and tear it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just unapologetic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, it's kind of the word that's stuck in my head with this, unapologetic. Like, the real deal. You know? One of my biggest thing when I go to like a restaurant or that showcase a certain, like that's the cuisine, if it's been altered. Yeah, this one has to be authentic, like the real deal.
Yeah.
It's like when you eat a dish, whatever region of the Caribbean or village it comes from, it must taste, might be presented in an elevated way, but the flavors has to taste like you're there.
I'm pumped for you. I'm excited. Safe travels on your journey. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to follow the journey when you're on social media, you know, talking and sharing everything and taking people through your process and, you know, opening the lid on how you build a menu, how you pick the interior, you know, what the music is, you know, the whole feel of this place. And the other thing too is, you know, you've just done a collaboration with a chef out of Colorado. You have another one coming, you know, with a lady from Sri Lanka. Is that something you're going to continue with this as well?
Yeah. So we years ago we had this idea of doing something called passport return. Is when I go to the chef and the chef come to me, but it was always like we wanted to find a chef that kind of match our energy, because we're very chill people, you know. So we wanted to make sure the person didn't come with ego or anything.
You can't bring Gordon Ramsay in here.
Yeah, well, you know,
throwing plates, dropping bombs. Yeah,
you know, and we always. So I also wanted to bring someone that I could showcase Oklahoma to, because you know, as everybody knows, I love Oklahoma, right? So when Matt is a 2024 best chef, James Beard, Rocky Mountains. I hope I get the year right. But, you know, we just have great chemistry. And he has 2 restaurants in Breckenridge, Colorado. Really, 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 man, one of the best chefs in the nation. So it was cool to have him down here in Matt and his team. And they just be so surprised by Oklahoma. And so the goal too is to bring chefs here that has never really been to Oklahoma. So, you know, we can showcase Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And, you know, everywhere they stop, show them some really great hospitality. I know they had a drink at None Such really took care of them, and other places. So just great, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, to answer your question, definitely. We'll have a lot more chef coming here, but chef that can, like when we do Dougla, there would be chef from like Sri Lanka, you know, chef from Jamaica, and we're bringing in those chefs to even push that cuisine more. You know, Pearl Mester will be doing that there too. You know, when we bring chef in Pearl Mester, it will be chefs that are probably, you know, in major hotels that have great restaurants.
Yeah.
So it does a twist in everything we're doing there, but it's all big name chefs we're bringing in.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, chef, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me do this. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to give you a platform to share a story that's very personal to you, and announce that this restaurant is coming
Yeah.
February 14th next year. So appreciate you.
Live and direct. You got to come back for the tasting too.
I will be here. Yeah, I will definitely be here. With a date or without a date, I will be here. It's Valentine's Day. I might have to bring my mum.
Yeah, there
We'll
you go.
figure it out. But
Yep.
no, really appreciate you. For people listening, I'll put the links to Chef's social media. And yeah, if you want to see the concept, some of the colors, watch the video for this podcast. I'm sure you'll see them on some of the socials as well. But thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next episode. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Hope you guys enjoyed that great episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at OklahomaHOF. Our other sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, amazing sponsor. They do amazing things for the state, and they're always sponsoring something in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my 2 pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my 2 golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. And adding to that is the Doghouse. And so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too, but I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC, and hopefully our pups will run into each other. If you're looking for a way to make a real difference, check out Bethany Children's Health Center. They're helping children reach their full potential as a leader in pediatric rehabilitation. They're also building a new outpatient center of excellence, and it's going to be a landmark right on Route 66. Want to learn more or even schedule a tour? Just head to bethanychildrens.org and click on the Ways to Give tab. That's bethanychildrens.org.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.